Oh, what's good, everybody? It is May 2nd, Tuesday, 2023. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We like to call it the early edge. We're powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting. And it's not close. Yesterday, a very fascinating, interesting day in the world of sports betting. Here on the show, well, you know what I like to say. It was a ho-hum day. Lost some juice. Won a few, lost a few more. But if you're a SportsLine member, we tell you this all the time. Just in our NBA picks alone, because all the props are up there. 10 and 5 just in those two games. If you're a SportsLine member, there's so much more to what we're doing than right here on the show. Now, we're back in the friendly confines, as you can see. Just for 1 week, because I'll be back out on the road next week for the Byron Nelson. And speaking of the PGA Tour, well, you know what today is. You guys have been making this show grow and grow and grow. The early wedge, the Wells Fargo, all the big boys are going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, as Ric Flair used to say, this week, and we will break it all down. Me, the counselor, Patrick McDonald, and then so many of you have been asking about it. The Kentucky Derby mega preview with Gene Menes and our girl Michelle. Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern, live right here on this channel. Now, you guys know our weeks start on Tuesday. We do things differently here at the early edge. We don't follow all the old school guys. We're setting a trend. So if our weeks start on Tuesday, then you know I got to bring my absolute very best to the table. Bring in the stars of the show. You know them, you love them, and it's an embarrassment of riches today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and see, I'm going to start with you because in the chat, I feel like you and I just have just an energy today because our main man, Buckets, is in the chat. And somebody says, oh, Buckets, coach is getting ready to roast you about the little showdown yesterday and my next level soccer handicapping. So I win a showdown. I know how you feel. See you. Good morning.
Good morning. I actually won a showdown with Buckets just a couple of days ago, as everybody knows who watches this show. And if you watch this show, by the way, I do want to point out, I'm glad, Coach, you pointed out SportsLine because I did end up losing that Braves first five. I was going for 10 in a row on the early edge. Part of the reason I lost that was because Ronald Acuna got beamed in the first inning in his first at bat. So Ronnie, that's on me. They're trying to put a stop to my first five, but I did come back and I put a play on the SportsLine app. It was the Denver Nuggets -4. It wasn't on the morning show because I didn't like it at 4.5, and that's where it was in the morning. But if you check the app around 6 o'clock last night, 4 hours before game time, you had the Denver Nuggets -4. So we ended up going 1-1. So check the show, check the app. That's what we got.
They can turn on notifications, can they not? So when you make a pick, it goes straight to their phone. They can do that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I have been notified that notifications have been turned on for me for a lot of the people who DM'd me or messaged me today and said, hey, nice pick. Way to bounce back off the first five miss.
It's 24/7, baby. We go all day long. It's not just here at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Now, this man, you talk about all day long. You talk about all the sports. 1 second. Now, he is live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody out there. Fired up to be here today. We've got a lot of baseball. No day baseball, unfortunately, but a play that I really, really like here for those who love the team totals.
He said 2 reallys. I would get my ears perked up. He said 2 reallys. Now, this man just said that never fear. We're going to have Kentucky Derby picks. And I said, oh, I'm all for it from EC. On Friday. And then I sat back down. Mikey B, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. If you watched the early edge in 5 yesterday, EC is getting excited about the Derby. EC, Coach, he's your favorite, I know. So he's looking forward to Friday.
I feel like sometimes when I look at your Twitter, you like to trigger me. You like just to throw something out there to see if I'm going to just snap it or snatch it. All right, next. Oh, we've got 2 left. Live from Sin City, Las Vegas, where we found out this week, well, in the last week, that the A's are coming to town. Zack, you are in the heart of it all. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, I've actually got an old Oakland A's hat. I might have to bust that out one of these days. But I'm from Arizona, so to see the way the Suns are repeating the same thing is kind of a little bit frustrating. Saw Chris Paul go down once again in the playoffs, and Mont Williams, his bench usage, we said it all season long. It happened again yesterday. You got 6 points out of your bench. You're playing campaign. He went 1 for 7. Damian Lee, 25 minutes, 0 points. Josh Okogie, 2 points in 21 minutes. I mean, you go on and on with this bench. You've got TJ Warren. You've got Terrence Ross. What is he doing?
I don't know, but that was hard to watch. And anybody that may have bet the over in that game, our apologies, not from our show, but damn, 87. What? It's embarrassing. Thank you for that recap, Zach. It's embarrassing. Now, finally, when he's not on the show, this is all I get is where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He is the sniper, Matthew Snyder. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, I'm probably off being grumpy somewhere, I guess, if I'm not on the show. Also, in the chat, I want to say Friday or Sunday, somebody asked if I went to Georgetown, and I believe that would have been about this hat. That's not a Georgetown hat. That is from the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City, a Homestead Grays hat, the team of the great Josh Gibson. Wow. So a little history lesson from the Sniper Day to get us started.
And if you've never been to the Negro League Museum in Kansas City, which is my second hometown, it's amazing. You've got to check it out. If you ever go there for any reason, put that on your list. You can learn something a little bit. All right, thank you, Matthew. All right, let's get into it. We've got a lot to talk about today. 2 NBA games, 15. Every Major League Baseball team is on the field today. No baseball, though. Some in the 6 p.m. Eastern hour. And then 2 NHL games today. So let's jump right into it. See, we're going to start with you. Heat and the Knicks. Now the Heat, we've got to start being a believer, but somehow the number's gone up. -6.5, 206.5. Are we fading or following the Knicks to even the series or cover the spread?
This one's really tough. So I think I am following the Knicks here -6.5, and it's partly predicated on the fact that I'm just not sure of the status of Jimmy Butler, which is probably why we need to wait on this one a little bit. If I'm the Miami Heat, and listen, I'm not, so I don't make those decisions for a reason, but if I'm the Miami Heat, I consider just having Jimmy B sit this one out and almost concede the game. And the reason is their next game, not until Saturday at 3:30, which would literally give Jimmy Butler a full 6 days of rest on that ankle. And presumably he'd be fine at home with a series tied at 1-1 on Saturday at 3:30 when they play next. So that's just something I'm kind of considering here. Maybe they lay off Jimmy Butler, but for me, because of the unknown, I got to follow the favorite in a bounce back spot.
So smart when you think about it. Everybody watching at home, when you get to this round of the playoffs, it's not just every other night anymore. Sometimes you get 2 days off, and that can help in this situation. Very smart. M squared, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to lean the same way with the Knicks. Probably going to be more in the first half than anything, like we usually do with this team. But I agree that the Heat probably should not play Jimmy Butler in this game. They stole the first game. You give them that much rest, go back home. I think the interesting thing is Jalen Brunson also on the injury report here. I fully expect him to suit up and play. We'll see if they get Randall back. Randall's someone who is very matchup dependent. They didn't need him a ton against Cleveland. I do think that he is beneficial in this particular matchup. Just his overall size and athleticism can make life a little more difficult for Bam Adebayo, which is very, very critical if Jimmy Butler is either not playing or limited here. So I lean towards the Knicks here. I don't expect them to struggle so much from 3. You looked in the last game, Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickley, and Josh Hart combined 1 for 15 from 3. They shot 60% from the free throw line. Just not performances that we expect to repeat here in this spot. So if it's anything for me, it's the Knicks.
Okay. That is in depth, ladies and gentlemen. In depth. So Zack Attack, coming off that, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I also will lean with the Knicks side here. You know, if it's up to Jimmy Butler, he's already putting out hints that he wants to play with the social media team showing him walking with his coffee, walking in the hotel lounge, looking like he's fine. But Coach Spoelstra said, we'll wait and see. And I'm not sure if he's going to have him out on the floor. You look at the Knicks, so strong at Madison Square Garden this year. That playoff energy is going to be a factor. I believe in Coach Tibbs making those adjustments. And at the end of the day, this is an 8th seed Miami Heat team. You got to expect some type of reversal, winning 5 of 6 playoff games so far.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is a very interesting number. Mikey B, let's close it out with you. This number scares me, even with or without Jimmy Butler. But what say you?
Yeah, I'll make it a clean sweep and lean towards the Knicks covering. But I do feel better about going with the under. I think if Butler plays, I think he'll be limited. If the score gets out of hand, they'll just sit them all together. I don't, like Sia said, I don't think he should play. Give him that time off until Saturday's game. So I feel better about the under. If he doesn't play or he's not effective, the Heat might struggle to score 90 points. So, yeah, I feel more confident in the under, but I would lean towards the Knicks covering too.
That is definitely another way to look at it with the total. Guzzle Money says, don't make the mistake the Bucks made by resting players thinking they can take a game off. Yes, but the Heat do have a one-game lead. Sometimes you got to be smart. Give to get later. By the way, somebody in the chat asked if I've ever been to Dodge City, Kansas. Please hit 2 home runs against Dodge City one game back in high school, which was like 10 years ago. All right, next game on the docket tonight. Golden State. Can you believe that we are – this was the 6th and 7th seed. This is the NBA God saying, you've earned this. You're welcome. LeBron against Steph? Wow, I can't believe we're getting this matchup one more time. Let's embrace it. So the Lakers, the underdogs, the Warriors, -4.5. I guarantee you, Sia, when the playoffs came out, the Warriors never thought in a million years that they would have home court advantage in any series this season. But that's where they find themselves. Where are we leaning? Fading or following the Warriors as a favorite tonight?
This one is so tough. I'm probably going to fade the Warriors at 4.5. I mean, the Lakers, I think, can really beat up the Warriors inside. Obviously, nobody can cover Anthony Davis on that team. It's really going to come down to Lakers defensively, whether they can guard the perimeter well. And I just think they're going to do enough at the free throw line, most likely, and inside to make this game really close and to potentially outright win it. It's such a clash of styles. So I'm really intrigued by this game. So I can't bet it personally, but I'm going to fade the favorite here.
All right. That number in the middle is what I'm looking at. The 228 number is what I'm looking at. By the way, in the chat, Blue Line Haas says this team is better than the starting 5 in any NBA All-Star team. By the way, where's the head coach, AB? What do you mean, where's the head coach? He's like the general manager. I'm the head coach. He's like the general manager. He kind of runs and puts everybody in position. Although we can let him think he's a head coach. That's fine. All right, M Squared, fading or following Golden State tonight?
This one is tough. This series is going to be tough when we do these kind of shows because the way that these teams play, you're going to have such high variance environments that you're going to see a 20-point blowout at some point in the series. I think it's definitely going to happen. As far as where I'm at tonight, though, I have a slight lean to the Lakers here. I wish we were getting 6, 6.5, 7. I think if you're the Warriors, it should be maybe a little concerning that you're only 4.5-point favorites at home here. That is making a pretty strong statement that these teams are essentially even at this point here. So I like to lean on the Lakers side. I will say, just given the point spread and where it's at, if you like them, I'd probably more inclined to play them on the money line to win outright rather than cover. If they do not win the game outright, I think that just because of the way the end of the game goes here, they're probably not going to cover the 4 or 4.5.
So incredibly smart way to look at it. I have 10 different scenarios going on in my head right now that this game could go and this series could go. Zach, talk to me.
Yeah, I think for game 1 here, it would be lean to the Lakers on the first half, only because Golden State just won that game 7 48 hours ago. The Lakers can take advantage of that here in game 1. But for me, the full game, I think Golden State's going to have a strong second half. We've seen it in the regular season where they have rusty first half and just pour it on in the second half. And all it takes is one game for a team to flip that switch. That game 7 showed me something with the Warriors. They're back. They're where they want to be. Steph Curry's playing lights out. You got that crowd energy. We saw their home record this year. Do not want full game action here. It'd be Lakers lean first half.
Okay. So many different ways. Halves, quarters, full game. Mikey B, how are you leaning?
I do like Zach's idea to take the Lakers there on the first half. I'm going to go. I think this might actually end up on the site for me later. I do like the Lakers at +4.5. I think the rest situation is big for them. The veterans need it. They're the more rested team. The Warriors coming off that emotional game 7 against the Kings. This could be a letdown spot for them, and then they come back later in the series. I do think they win the series, but I like the Lakers at +4.5 for game 1.
All right, a lot of different answers, a lot of different thought processes. We tell you all the time, you watch this show live, use the information for yourself. # knowledge is power. Now, in the chat, currently, Berg Bets, Buckets. If you have any questions for them, put them in there. They will answer them in real time. But as we know, I'm the best soccer capper at the early edge. So there's a question in there about Toulouse and Lens, both teams to score. It was 4 buckets, but I'll go ahead and take that one. I think today's going to be very, very tough for both teams to find the back of the net. Lately, they've been playing very defensive-minded soccer, so I'd be very hesitant to play both teams to score in Toulouse and Lens, which is in the French league. Oh, see what I'm saying right there? See how good that was?
So good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do we need buckets anymore? I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, is it a consensus? Mikey B, you said it. We're all thinking it. I didn't know I was going to be this good at it. Interesting. All right, now, we've made the sniper sit there long enough. He wants to participate. He wants to play, but not before we hear from one of our incredible sponsors.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reaction.
The largest final round comeback in tour championship history. We're down to the final four.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
And this week, Wednesday and Thursday, your boy will be hosting the 8 p.m. Eastern hour on CBS Sports HQ. We talk about live betting, all the evening stuff. It's a lot of fun. We'll be doing it Wednesday and Thursday right here from the Friendly Confines. All right, Sniper, we're coming to you. It's time to play the dog of the day. So here are 3 dogs that we're looking at. The Phillies against the Dodgers. Dodgers blew out Philadelphia last night. Rangers, Diamondbacks, just a short dog. And the Braves are the shortest of the dogs, plus 105 in Miami. So, Sniper, which dog are you following today?
I like the Phillies a lot here. Jose Urias on the mound. Julio Urias. Why did I say Jose? Julio Urias on the mound for the Dodgers. Last 3 outings, he's been really, really shaky. He's actually, his body language even seems off. He's getting really frustrated, just even giving up hits or something wrong with him. Also, on the other side, the Phillies are starting Matt Strahm, been a reliever, kind of journeyman, back and forth between the minors a lot of the time in the last several years. But he has a 2.31 ERA, 0.81 whip. One of the better stories this year. The Dodgers versus left-handed pitchers, not one of the better stories this year. They're terrible. 174 average against lefties all year. 344 slugging. Don't like the Dodgers against lefties at all. Plus, the Phillies have some Bryce juice going on tonight. So we're going to give them a bump for that. I'm on board with the Phillies.
He's like 2 months ahead of schedule at least to come back. That would be a huge boost if he can come back from Tommy John surgery tonight. And if you guys were paying attention, I wrote down 4 different Chick-fil-A nuggets that Sniper just gave you. 4. Pay attention. Let's go. All right. See, I'm coming to you. Which dog are we following tonight?
Yeah, I like the Bryce Harper juice for sure. I was considering the Braves with Elder versus Alcantara, but without Ronald Acuna, who I don't think is going to be in the lineup thanks to his injury yesterday, I can't go that route, so I am going to take the Phillies. I love the idea of backing a Phillies team with a left-hander because I don't think the Dodgers are going to hit Strahm very well at all. And again, the pop in the bats I've seen with the Phillies, and now they get Bryce back. I think the Phillies could go on a nice little run here.
Sorry, I was reading a comment about buckets. I'm not laughing at your imagination. All right. I was going to read. I'm sorry.
Well, I have a question for Buckets in the chat.
Please,
Does he like the A on the screen?
Who, you?
The A for the Braves. Sorry, you weren't on the show. He asked what the A meant when we had a big follow.
Got it. Sounds like it. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if anybody watched the show yesterday, Buckets thought that L.A. meant Vegas. So
with an A,
he said, "I'm going to L.A. in 3 weeks," and he's actually going to Las Vegas in 3 weeks. So I encouraged him to check the reservation and make sure the ticket is going to the right city. Because leave it to Buckets to get on the wrong airplane. That's all I'm saying. All right, Zack Attack. Let's come to you. Which dog are you following today?
Yeah, well, also got the Phillies plus 135. Matt touched on Julio Urias struggles. In his last 3 starts, Dodgers have lost all 3 of those games. He's given up 6 home runs. And we've touched on this even last year. Road travel for teams Sunday to Monday is going to be – it's always a bad spot. We saw that yesterday for the Phillies, down 8-1 early against the Dodgers. But this is a team that had won 7 of their past 8 games. Could be a good bounce-back spot for them.
All right. And finally, M Squared. Where are we going?
It'll be the Phillies as well, but I would prefer to do it on a first 5 money line. Matt Strahm is fantastic, absolutely elite strikeout upside. The issue there is definitely not stretched out, definitely not pitching deep into baseball games here. We've seen him pulled around 60 to 65 pitches at times, thrown as many as 82, but I do not expect him to have a super long leash against an opponent like this here. So If you're basing this off of a pitching matchup, I would certainly look at a first 5 there. As far as the Phillies, though, the Dodgers against lefties, 26th in WOBA against left-handed pitching, bottom 5 in terms of strikeout rate, striking out 27% of the time here. Pretty alarming if you're the Dodgers against lefties at this point. So if I had to play one, it would be Phillies first 5.
All right. So much incredible information. So a lot of my guys are on the Phillies. Either way, full game or the first 5, like Mikey said. Ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of the Early Edge is in the chat. He is out of bed. AB is in there. Any questions for him, go ahead and throw them. He will answer them in real time. Somebody said, Rebecca, our girl Rebecca. She says, buckets in Vegas? Somebody film that, please. Oh, Rebecca, truer words have never been spoken. Oh, that'd be amazing. Oh, that would be amazing. All right, now it's time to pick the prop. And today, here's what we're doing. And again, grab your paper and grab your pencil because we have nuggets for you. We've been really good at this. Now, Byron Buxton plus 250. Fernando Tatis, he's playing with a lot of energy. I watched him last night. Man, he's fired up every day to be back on the field. And then Mr. Peter Alonso of the Mets after a double dip yesterday, plus 450 today. So, Sniper, pick one guy to go yard today.
I actually like all 3 of these guys, but I'll zero in on Byron. I'll do the Buck thing. I'll zero in on the Buck here, Byron Buxton. He has home runs in 4 of his last 5 games. Michael Kopech, White Sox pitcher, has allowed 8 home runs already this season, and there hasn't even been that much time to allow 8 home runs in the season as a starting pitcher. Buxton has 9 home runs and 116 at-bats in his career in Chicago's guaranteed rate field. The only thing I'm worried about is the weather report. And I must say that even when M Squared is talking about the NBA, I have like a knee-jerk reaction now that he's going to tell me about the weather, even though they're inside. So I am worried about the weather report on Buxton, but I'm going to go with him nonetheless.
Mikey, so let's come to you. Should Sniper be concerned?
Not overly concerned. If the wind wasn't blowing the way it was, you should definitely be concerned. Basically what you have air quality and temperature that's going to knock the baseball flight down, but you've got wind that's helping. So it's actually very, very neutral in Chicago today. So right at baseline, no improvement, no real negative on that value there. So I do like Buxton. I would prefer to play his total bases over the home run prop itself. As far as the best value on the board here, for me, it's going to be Pete Alonso. Very similar situation. Normally, Detroit, 40 degrees, we would have zero interest in hitting a home run prop in this spot. However, the wind is definitely neutralizing what the air quality and temperature is doing here. So very baseline game in Detroit. Because of that, a little earlier start time as well always helps. So I'll lean on Alonso here for the home run prop.
Educate and entertain, ladies and gentlemen. Educate and entertain. Zach Attack, let's go.
Yeah, I've got Alonso as well, plus 450 after the weekend postponements against the Atlanta Braves. We saw in yesterday's doubleheader, he hit his 11th home run. She'll be able to pick on Michael Lorenzen, ERA north of 7. That bullpen, give me Alonso plus 450.
All right, Mike in the chat says, I'm just watching while working from home to make some money. Mike, that's what we're doing. I'm actually working from home today, too. Interesting. I am. All right, see ya. Nejad, Counselor, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pete Alonso as well, mostly because I like the value relative to the other two, plus 250, plus 350. Doesn't warm my heart too much. I like the matchup against Lorenzen. Last time out, Lorenzen was pretty bad against Milwaukee, allowing, I believe, in 5 innings, 7 hits and 5 earned runs. Let's see Pete Alonso go yard today.
All right, and Mike E.B., I'm coming to you, big boy. Which one do you like to go yard?
Yeah, I'll close it out with Buxton. Like the Sniper said, Kopech has been awful in terms of home runs, and Buxton has actually hit a home run in 4 of his last 5 games. When he gets hot, he can hit him with the best of them, so I'll take Buxton.
All right. A lot of great Chick-fil-A nuggets right there. I know AB is very, very proud in the chat. All right, so we've got all the games out of the way, but this is about the picks today. And let me remind you, there are so many more at SportsLine. It's a complete family, a community. We want you to be a part of it. If you're not yet and you're brand new to the brand, you're just checking us out, first of all, thank you. Second of all, use a promo code EARLY, and I'll give you 30 days for free. All my cappers, all the information, all of the simulations. Then after that, you'll be playing with house money. It's all good. But if you are also a Paramount Plus subscriber, then you know that when you log into that app, the biggest app in the world, I might add, then you're seeing a brand new little square, and the name is called Galazzo.
Absolutely magisterial here. Artiglieria del campionato brasileiro. Colpisce ancora. Golazo.
Johnny in the chat says, I'm pretending to work with my phone in front of me and AirPods in. Johnny, very interesting. Buckets does the exact same thing. Oh, my goodness. Pretending to work all the time, even when he's on the show. It's funny. All right, now, I told you guys already, I am fired up for the Wells Fargo. And my man who's going first today, he is one of the best golf handicappers in the world. We just recently cashed a plus 4,500 ticket 2 weeks ago. He can do it all. So on a Tuesday, when we're starting our week and we need a little pick-me-up, well, this is why we do this. Mikey, you know the drill, son. It doesn't matter if it's the Wells Fargo or DFS or baseball or the weather report or the NBA. The man can do it all. So sit back and enjoy. And if you don't mind, Mikey, give it to me.
All right, Coach. We'll start mentioning the Wells Fargo. I'm glad you mentioned it. Simulations hit the site this morning. The betting card will be up in about 20 minutes from now, so make sure you head over there and check that out. For today, Major League Baseball team total going St. Louis, or excuse me, not the Cardinals here, Angels against the Cardinals. Team total over 4, minus 106 over on FanDuel this morning. You have a push condition with a 4th run, a win condition with a 5th run. Want to pick on Steven Matz a little bit here. First of all, the Angels, sneaky good against left-handed pitching so far this season. Both teams in this matchup really are, but the Angels are crushing lefties as a top 5 team, and they're not striking out against left-handed pitching, which is significant here. So my issues with Matz is he's basically what he's throwing, right? The velocity's down a mile an hour, sitting 93 to 93.5 on his sinking fastball, a pitch that he's throwing over 50% of the time. He's thrown it 253 times this season. Opponent's actual weighted on base average, 385, expected number, 377, maps to what he did last season with a 392 as well. It's a pitch that he simply doesn't have a lot of success with. He has a changeup as well. That was his put-out pitch last year. Has not been the case so far here. We expect 8 right-handed hitters in the Angels lineup. The one lefty, Shohei Ohtani, doesn't matter what side of the plate he's hitting from or who he's hitting against. He's an absolute threat here. As far as the weather, very neutral, slight increase today in St. Louis. Love the spot for the Angels. Team total over 4 runs.
Quick question from Rebecca. She says it moved up to 4.5 on DraftKings at plus money now. Play or stay away, Mikey?
You're going to have to play it there if that's the only option you've got on your book. The thing that we'll talk about is over 4 and over 4.5 have the exact same win condition. You both need a 5th run to win the bet. The only difference in the 4 is you're pushing, obviously, minus 106 would be a play. If you had to lay, say, minus 125 or more at 4, you would want to move to 4.5, assuming that you're getting it even money or better.
And for those of you out there right now, if you do this every single day, listen to what Mikey just said. 20 cents, when you start adding it up over the course of a year, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I fall into the trap all the time. Oh, I'll lay the juice. Really listen to what he talks about. All right. Mikey, great start. Now, Zack Attack. The other night in the post-game interview with Jimmy Butler, this man was targeted as part of the reason they got the job done. He's almost full gray, but he's still getting the job done. How are you attacking this particular player today?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin Love over 9.5 points, and you have to be careful with player props on the Heat side because you're still waiting on Jimmy Butler. But when I look at the Heat, the props available for the Heat, he is one I'm comfortable with if Jimmy Butler's deeming that he's going to play. Of course, if he's not going to play, I love it even more with Kevin Love over 9.5. You have Gabe Vincent, 13.5, Max Strus, 11.5, Bam Adebayo, 18.5. So those numbers may come down on certain players, especially Gabe Vincent. But I look at Kevin Love, what he's able to do, Coach Spoelstra, he kind of keeps players hidden. We saw it last series. Duncan Robinson only played 16 minutes per game in the regular season against Milwaukee Bucks. He got over 30 in a lot of the games. Rotates his players. Gabe Vincent gets higher minutes. Kyle Lowry, certain spots. Kevin Love, we saw what he did in game 1 in just 16 minutes of action, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, had a couple moments in that Bucks series, and he's a player with that veteran experience. The Knicks have a lot of big players. You're going to need him on the floor. I can see him getting that extra action. He doesn't shy away from the shot attempts, and we know he is a key player, even in a minimum role, based on his playoff runs with LeBron James all those years with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he knows what to do on the floor. I think Coach Spoelstra is going to lean on him tonight, whether with the Jimmy Butler plays or doesn't play. He's going to get more action tonight, over 9.5 points.
And it's cool when you have a player that can do it regardless of who is around him. And Kevin Love certainly has played with some of the very best the NBA has to offer. Zack Attack, thank you very much. By the way, Guzzle Money says, I tell all my gambling pals to watch this show. Shout out to all of Guzzle Money's pals. I encourage all of you to tell all of your pals to come watch this show. We include everybody. Nobody is pushed out here, except for maybe EC. All right, Mikey B. I'm coming to you next. It just kind of just happens. I just don't even get it. It's just too good, too easy. All right, Mike Barner. Now, most people, if there was 2 NBA games tonight, they would think that you would be all in, all NBA. They would be incorrect. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the NBA games, so I got one baseball and one basketball pick for you. So first we'll go to baseball. We'll do Twins money line against the White Sox. There's some juice here, minus 164 on FanDuel. But Joe Ryan, he's been excellent for the Twins. He's allowed 3 or fewer runs in 4 of his 5 starts. He has a 0.81 whip. For his career, he has only given up 153 hits in 205 2/3 innings. The White Sox lineup is a problem. Have the 7th worst OPS in baseball. We talked about Kopech's struggles. So we'll take the Twins on the money line, minus 164. And then we'll go to the NBA. Big star power games. Who are we going with? Austin Reeves, over 8.5 rebounds plus assists at minus 127. He moved into the starting 5 towards the end of March. He stayed there. He's been excellent. He averaged 37 minutes over the 6-game series against the Grizzlies. He had at least 9 combined rebounds and assists in 4 of those games. The 2 times he didn't, he just missed with 7 and 8 combined, respectively. Both of these teams ranked inside the top 4 in the league in pace of play during the regular season. So I think Reeves has plenty of opportunities to go over the 8.5 combined rebounds and assists.
And the big thing is LeBron James loves him.
Yes.
And LeBron loves him some Austin Reeves. He wants him on the court when he is on the court. So that means he plays like 35 to 40 minutes now, as opposed to 25 in the middle of the season, correct?
Yeah, 37 minutes a game in the last series. So he's going to play a ton.
There you go. All right, Mikey B, thank you very much. I had that's the one I was going to hit on because it's not quite out yet on my book. Taylor says Kevin Love's threes have been cashing the last few games as well. I've noticed, and Mikey, I'll come to you first with this, that a lot of books for the playoffs have been adding most threes to be made for a lot more players than just the stars. Have you seen that too?
Yeah, you definitely will see that at times during the NBA playoffs. Also, you have to note that some of those are going to move throughout the day and or be delayed posting when you've got significant injury news, as it obviously makes a massive, massive impact.
There you go. I encourage you to follow all my guys right now. You go to Twitter, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. All of the Twitter handles are on there. They're all active throughout the day. I tell them every time we get off the air, what's the last thing I say? Stay active, stay active, stay active. So follow my guys. We're doing this 24/7. We're going. Everybody else can sit on the sidelines. We're going every single day. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy. Wait a second. See what I did there? See what I did there? I get the waggle. Because we still have 2 more. We still have 2 more. All right. I like messing with people. Counselor, I know that you would love to be in the maestro spot. However, when we lose a pick on the show, you know the rules. So you're going to have to go next, sir. Floor is yours.
Did you see the Mutombo waggle, by the way? Because we brought up Georgetown. I'm a big Georgetown Hoyas fan, my favorite college basketball team. And if you watched that game yesterday, Malcolm Brogdon's pass to Tyrese Maxey, if it didn't remind you of 1982's championship game that featured Michael Jordan and, of course, Fred Brown throwing the game away. Listen, I know I'm dating myself a bit. I wasn't watching that game live, but again, go back and look at the Fred Brown pass and look at the Malcolm Brogdon pass. It's literally the same exact thing. Okay, finally, by the way, go Hoyas. Let's get to my play. Angels first 5 plus a half, minus 130. They're at the Cardinals. Listen, it's not the same play as Mike's play by any means, but I love the synergy here. I was so happy to see Mike's pick because I really like the Angels. He emphasized how good the Angels are against lefties, and I absolutely love that part of it. But I also love that just Steven Matz hasn't been very good. He got roughed up his last time over against the San Francisco Giants, and more often than not this season, and it could correct, but he is getting roughed up. Patrick Sandoval has been decent. He's a quality pitcher. He's not a great pitcher by any means, but he has been okay. Last time against Oakland, 7 innings, only allowing 6 hits and 2 earned runs. But again, this is a play on the lineup of the Angels more than anything. I think it's a very dangerous lineup, regardless of whether it's a lefty or a righty, and they get the benefit of a lefty in Steven Matz. So I love getting the half a run here. I don't think they should be the dog on a money line. So I'm adding the half a run because it's only minus 130. I think a plus half a run should be like minus 155, minus 160 here. It's a great number.
It is, and it is right in the sweet spot when the juice is
worth the squeeze.
You're damn right it is. And this is one of those days I love the Angels plus a half. I've kind of become a transplanted Angels fans. The stadium is 20 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. I love the Angels out here, and they love the Angels out here. Shohei, let's go. All right, now, Rebecca, she used your line, M squared. She says, Coach trying to cut off the Zoom call early. She definitely watches. She listens. All right, Sniper. I feel like today is your day. I feel like today, so we've saved the maestro spot for you. And I'm staring at a name because I always like to learn. And I don't know all the players right now. There's a lot of new names that are showing up. So please educate me right now. Floor is yours.
Yes, I am going to play Mason Miller of the Oakland Athletics for over 5.5 strikeouts. Okay, so here's the thing. We usually shouldn't be watching the A's for any other reason than just rooting for our tickets to cash against them, for example, over the run line. You know, they've lost almost every game on the run line this year. So here's the thing, though. Mason Miller, one of the best pitching prospects in baseball, throws over 100 a lot of the time. His fastball is averaging 99 miles per hour. He's got a cutter that's 95, a change that's 91, and a slider that's only 86. So I guess he kind of lets a little bit up on the slider. You would think maybe it'd be around 90 with somebody throwing that hard. But he's been incredibly fun to watch in his first 2 starts. So far, he's struck out 11 in 8 2/3 innings. The only problem there is he won't go that deep. He only is probably going to throw 85 to 90 pitches, maybe get 5 innings. But he's facing the Mariners, who've had a bad offense so far this year. They only have a 219 average as a team. They are second in Major League Baseball in strikeout percentage, and they've never seen him before. We talk about the familiarity factor. He's only thrown 53 innings in the minors, so almost nobody's seen him in the minors. Actually, I had that wrong. It's 53 strikeouts and 28 2/3 innings in the minors. So the Mariners have almost nobody that knows anything about this guy. He has ridiculous stuff. He's going to strike out a lot of batters. I like him to go over the 5.5 strikeouts, and I would say it's probably only going to take 3 innings, but we'll probably get him for about 5 innings if you want to take a look. Mason Miller of the Oakland Athletics. Also, I was hoping to look at Pirates against Rays in the first 5, but no lines have been posted as of when the show started. Roansy Contreras of the Pirates has been really, really good this year. The Rays haven't seen him at all. First 5 there. The Rays don't really have a starting pitcher. That's why the line hasn't been posted. Pirates had a good series against the Dodgers last week. They led all 3 games through 5 innings in that series. I wanted to take a look at that. I still am going to. It's just going to have to happen later today.
All right. So as I just said, follow him on social media. And I want to vote. I need to do a little vote here before we get to the end of the show. Rex just said in the chat, shows are getting longer each day. So much information. Well, we're trying to give you all the information. If you think it's too long and you don't want all this information, right? No. If you like the shows being a little bit longer, write yes into the chat. While you do that, hit the like button for me as well. So if you don't want them this long, right now, if you like them like this with all my top guys, right? Yes, we'll take all the information and we'll use it because we listen to you. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Now we can do the recap, courtesy of the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. And do not forget, we have Early Edge in 5 today at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and the Early Wedge an hour before that at 3 p.m. Eastern time. M squared, he's on the Angels team total over 4. Doesn't hate over 4.5 at plus money. Then the counselor, same game, different bet. Angels for 5 plus a half, minus 130. Zack attack Kevin Love over 9.5 points, minus 123. Sniper, Mason Miller over 5.5 Ks. I pray it's done in 3 innings. I can't watch this team for any longer than that. And then Mikey B, Twins money line, minus 164, a little juicy, but he explained why. And then our favorite, number 15 in your scorecards, number 1 in your hearts, Austin Reeves, over 8.5 rebounds and assists. All right, I'm getting all yeses. Guzzle Money says that his coworkers are starting to look at him because he's been watching the show. Eric says, yeah, I'm in the car all morning, and I love all the information. So I know there's a lot of you that are driving to work, whether you're on the West Coast, you're driving into L.A. Thank God I don't have to do that anymore. But we're trying to give you all the information so you can use it to your advantage. I'm telling you, we grind for you so we can win with you. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, M Squared, Counselor, Sniper, Zack Attack, Mikey B, and the Snake. Always behind the scenes on the ones and the twos. And a special thank you, Berg Bets, Buckets, AB. The crew is everywhere, and we are together. It's what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.